Please bet on football games.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Please Bet on Football Games podcast. I'm your host, Alex, here with the on-air talent, Joe. Joe, how's it going today?
We are so close, yet we are so far. And I've already had my first roller coaster week of betting. Down 25K, up 27K, plateau at 2.5K profit, which is a good amount of money and feels like no money.
Yeah. How much money have you bet on preseason?
I could tell you the exact amount, but I think it's about 107 grand.
Oh my goodness.
It's quite exactly 107 grand, and it's bad that I know that offhand.
I mean, you're making good money on it, but
I have wagered 107 grand flat with a win percentage of 61.9 and an ROI of 21.62% for a profit of $23,138.17 very important cents. Yeah.
Goodness. So needless to say, you're ready for the regular season to start.
At one point, I very literally lost $33,000 in a span of 4 consecutive games. And if it wasn't for some real bullshit luck, I would have lost another 7,000 or 6,000 on Oakland. Yeah, it started bad. And then it got really good. Yeah, no, I'm definitely ready for real games. I'm definitely ready to watch like competent football. But before we get started, usually we hop right in. Something has been just nagging me, just crushing me since our last pod on the NFC East.
What's that?
Do you recall what I said about Chris Paul, the guard for the Commanders?
No.
I think I called him like an A- guard. I think I might have accidentally done that. And I don't know why in my head I merged him with Sam Cosmi, who is really, really good. But friend of the show, my buddy called me out today, actually. He was like, "You fucking really high on Chris Paul?" And I'm like, "Why? Yeah, why? Why am I?" And he's like, "You said he was like a star guard." And I was like, "Who am I confusing him with?" And I have no idea why I said that. And now I feel a little bit of sympathy for the people that are on like ESPN and podcasts that just say the dumbest shit all the time, because I don't believe that at all. And I really have no idea why I said that.
Is that our first retraction?
Maybe. Yeah. It's definitely a retraction. Boy, I mean, like, it's the damnedest thing. I have literally no idea why I said. Oh, didn't we record late as fuck last time?
Yes.
Okay. Well, this time it's nice and early. It's only 8:30, and I've only been working for the last 13 hours, so we're fine.
Well, good to get the correction on the record. What do you think of Chris Paul if he's on an A-?
He's barely a starter. He's played like 10 games in 5 years. He's not a good player. He's big, but like he's kind of terrible.
Yeah, I'd be lying if I said I knew anything about him. So
yeah, I don't know. I think I might have just merged him with Sam Cosmi in my head. I might have been like, Sam Cosmi is legit as fuck. Therefore, the Commanders have awesome guards. I don't know.
Not quite.
Yeah, no, one of them's great and the other one's bad. And so that brings me to another thing. And we will talk AFC East rapidly in a moment, but did you hear the reports out of Commanders camp this week that like it's an unmitigated and butt fucking disaster?
Yes, I've seen some of that.
Like their offensive line is absolutely terrible and Jaden Daniels looks lost and confused.
Not ideal for year 3.
Who would have ever imagined that like processing and downfield passing and pocket awareness matter when you strip somebody of the paint by numbers gimmick fucking screen-based offense? Oh, Alex, we're gonna make so much fucking money this year.
We do, for the record, have 3 units on Washington under 7.5 wins.
Oh, do we? That's beautiful. I didn't know that either. Wow, I podcasted drunk without alcohol last week. I like that bet. I just didn't remember I made it.
Yeah, I believe we think they'll have 5 wins and their number is 7.5.
That sounds right. And honestly, the 5 might be optimistic at this point.
Maybe, but could be on the right side of that. Got in early. With that said, you ready to talk AFC?
The second lowest season win total in history?
The AFC East?
Just the Dolphins.
Kicking us off in the AFC East, we are talking about the Miami Dolphins with a win total projection of 4.5 wins.
This team's gonna be terrible. This is probably the worst team in the league, but it's it's not as consistently terrible as you would like it to be, right? So their interior offensive line is kind of sick. Also, oh my God, I'm so glad we addressed this. I like Patrick Paul. I like Patrick Paul, the left tackle for the Dolphins. I don't like Chris Paul, the right guard for the Commanders.
There you go.
Holy shit, serendipity. Wow, that's crazy. I can't even believe that just happened. I had no idea Patrick Paul was coming up. I completely forgot about him because I thought he was right guard for the fucking Commanders. Anyway, their interior offensive line is kind of good. Like, okay, so they got Caden Proctor, and I hated Caden Proctor all last year, watching Ty Simpson film and just general Alabama film. I fucking hated him because like he's so lazy and sloppy, and he's strong, but he doesn't move well, and he just looks like he's always 15 pounds overweight, even for him. But if you move him into guard, you can't run away from his remarkably powerful stone hands. Like when he gets hands on dudes, they just don't move, right? Like you're not getting away from him. So left guard might be like a place he can thrive. And then the right guard, they're doing a very similar thing where they move Jonah Savaiinea, Jonah S. He was a left tackle at Arizona, and he's just fucking tall. He's just so fucking tall. And the idea is that he's so fucking tall that he can become kind of good. He's weak. He's light in the pants, right? It's not that he's weak, like his arms are small. It's like he just doesn't have that anchor. And so they moved him to guard, and I don't really love the idea of a 6 foot. I think he's like 6'10". I mean, he's like really tall. He's only 6'5", but he's a tall fucking guard.
And that's not huge.
No, 6'5" isn't, but he looks a lot larger than 6'5". He might have really long arms then, because he looks, I mean, he might just be that he's kind of light in the loafers. He looks lanky.
Yeah, maybe.
But no, he definitely doesn't have long arms either. Regardless, I don't love the idea of kicking him inside. I thought he would be a fine enough offensive tackle, like a B- guy. Like you could play him. That's fine. And on the offensive line, a B- is like, if a B- is your weakest link, that's pretty good. And then of course, Aaron Brewer, they just gave a big contract, like a big contract. Yes, 17.5 mil for 3 years. That's pretty huge for a center. So their interior is like, I don't want to say it's good, but I like each of the pieces, right? Any converted tackle that's good or solid at tackle, I like him at guard, star center, and then a left guard with a ton of upside. And then, yeah, Patrick Paul, good left tackle, as we established last week, under mistaken identity. And then I will always believe in Austin Jackson because he's so athletic. Does he do dumb shit constantly? Is he weak? I don't know if he's weak or just has terrible balance, but yeah, it's bad. But I just believe, man. I just like him. I like the way he moves. That's kind of where it ends. Oh, A-Chain. Devon A-Chain is top 5 running back, maybe top 3 running back.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only thing that keeps him out of those like true top conversations or he just doesn't play that many games, it feels like. Or he's always banged up when he's playing.
He's always banged up, and Mike McDaniels loved to rotate him. Like he never gave him like the full bell cow, portion size. It's also just he's limited by his size, right? He is like 5'9", 190, 185. Like, yeah, the lightning speed's awesome, but there's certain things you just can't do with that size of man at running back. So I love him. But yeah, I get what you mean. He's a little bit, I don't want to say limited, just like, no, limited is exactly what it is. There are certain things you just can't really do with him. Like you don't want him between the tackle. And that's tough. Now, this is going to be who's the offensive coordinator from the Texans that was unceremoniously fired because they thought it was his fault CJ Stroud couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. Bobby Slowick. Goddamn. It's going to be one of those pods, dude. I'm out of it.
Hey, honestly, I'm a little out of it too. I didn't pick up that you were just trying to figure out his name.
Bobby Slowick, wide zone, Shanahan disciple. His issue in Houston is that he can't really innovate. Like, he's a cover band, right? He's not writing his own shit. He's just kind of doing the stuff that Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay did. And that's good shit. And, like, there are really good cover bands out there. But you get tired of hearing Freebird every night. At some point, you'll want to hear like something you haven't heard before. He can't do that part. The passing game is really where this whole thing falls apart, though. Malik Willis is a bad quarterback, and I'm glad he's getting a chance to start somewhere because there is something there, and he was like exciting last year, albeit in an extremely sheltered role. And he's one of those guys where it's like, I want to see if he can do it, right? I want to see him get a full chance, but I also don't want to be the one who ever gives him that chance. Like, you guys, why don't you guys do that? It's like I was saying earlier today, like, we really need people to move to Alabama and Iowa. Not me. I'm staying in the city. But you people, why don't you go over there?
It was like Mekhi Becton. Like, I was very fascinated by him because he was just so huge and athletic and everything. But at the same time, it was like, I don't know if he's actually good enough to play, but I want somebody else to give it a shot.
Yeah, or like Denzel Mims, like team I don't care about, make Denzel Mims a starter just to see if size and speed do matter that much.
Right.
Or Joe Milton. I want to see more Joe Milton. Do I think it'll work? No, I do not at all. But I want to see it. So I'm glad that, Miami gets to be our testing space, our petri dish. It's not going to work. It's eventually going to look really bad. And then there's going to be a QB competition or controversy between Willis and Quinn Ewers. And Quinn Ewers just, man, we've never been sold such a bag of goods with a fucking recruit.
Yeah, I feel like it happens from time to time.
We'll always have that one brilliant debut against Alabama, man. He was genuinely great in that game. I was so sold. That was last time I lived in New York. And I was like, oh, this dude is awesome. And then I watched an Ohio State game that night against Penn State, and I said, this Stroud kid can't fucking hit the broadside of a barn. And then the entire NFL believed that he was elite because he said he was accurate. And they were like, yeah, well, why would he lie? All right. The passing game only gets worse from, like, Malik Willis is genuinely the highlight of the passing game. Their starting receivers are going to be Jalen Tolbert, Caleb Douglas, and Malik Washington. Do you know who those guys are?
I've heard the names before of Tolbert and Washington, but not really.
Yeah, no, not really is the correct answer. I've not heard of Caleb Douglas. I don't know this motherfucker.
No.
I guess he went to Texas Tech. I didn't watch. Sorry. Actually, I must have watched him because I graded Sorsby, but the problem with Sorsby is I say CJ Stroud can't hit the broadside of a barn. It's a little facetious. Sorsby don't know where the barn is. He's just throwing the ball in a direction. It's like cricket. Everywhere is inbounds. That's how Sorsby throws the ball. Yeah, Malik Washington, tiny but fast. That's not a sustainable starting receiver. Caleb Douglas, okay. And then Jalen Tolbert. Jalen Tolbert is the epitome of a C wide receiver. He should never start, but like 10 times a year, he's going to catch a ball on third down, and you're going to be like, oh, hell yeah, that dude's pretty solid. Greg Dulcich, he's like the new Austin Hooper in that he's just around and the right shape to be a tight end. So yeah.
Not going to talk about Jalen Reagor, Tutu Atwell.
No, I was never a fan of Jalen Reagor just because I never thought he had the speed that people talked about. Similar with Jahan Dotson, honestly. I was like, these guys are supposed to be burners, but they don't burn, and they're small. So, like, what are we doing? Tutu Atwell, I'm sorry, brother. He's another case of, like, if he was 3 inches taller, but you just can't do that much at 5'7".
Yeah.
He can't play slot because he can't be contacted or hit, or else he'll disintegrate. And he can't play outside because he can't get his hands on the ball before somebody fucking dunks on him. So, no.
So a rough-looking receiver room.
You got Terrence Marshall, who's in, like, year 78 of being quote-unquote athletic, but never actually looking athletic. Remember Ruben Randall?
Yes. From LSU?
Yes, and the Giants. And for years, people were just like, dude, Ruben Randall is so athletic, he's going to be a beast. And it's like, really? Because then why isn't he fast or strong? Because I thought those were how you be athletic. And they're like, no, you don't get it. He's a freaky athlete. It's like, okay, well, then why is he never open or like jumping over dudes? He's never doing anything that like indicates athleticism. I think that you just saw he was a 5-star recruit and decided he was athletic rather than like watching him do athletic shit. Same with Terrence Marshall. Same with a few Ole Miss guys. Mingo, whatever Mingo's first name is.
Jonathan?
Yes, Jonathan Mingo, now with the Cowboys. Oh, freaky athlete. Really? Is he? Debo Samuel, freaky athlete. Nah, is he kind of just a chubby guy who gets the ball in space? Yeah, he would have been a fullback 20 years ago, and nobody would blink. He's no different from Marcel Reese. So, yeah, that's enough talking about receivers that don't matter. The offense is going to be rough as fuck. Even if Malik Willis is good, they're giving him receivers that are so bad that, like, it wouldn't make a big difference. And the offensive line is going to be shoddy, because as much as I like that interior, both of their guards are young and kind of out of position, and their right tackle is mistake prone. So that's
it could be a very bad line.
Well, even if it's good, even if everything works out, it's 3/5 of your line is going to be mistake prone simply by nature of youth, inexperience, and Austin Jackson. And that's a majority mistake-prone offensive line is a bad thing for a, shall we call him, inexperienced quarterback who struggles to, like, conceive of himself as a passer in the first place, right? Like, Malik Willis does fuck shit. And if you give him reason to panic, the fuck shit will only exponentially increase. So this offense is going to be a problem. They're going to run the ball a lot. I don't know if Devon Achane's body can take those blows, seeing as he is small. And then you're going to be left with Ollie Gordon. So yeah, the offense is going to be middling if everything works out, and it could be abysmal.
Onto the defense?
Onto the defense. The defense has a lot of things I love. Even with the last year, we adored their defensive line because Jalen Phillips and Chop Robinson. Chop Robinson had a weird year where he was kind of hurt and he didn't really like play all that well. He should be healthy now. I expect him to explode again because his rookie year, Chop Robinson looked like a stud. I think Chop Robinson's a better player than Abdul Carter, period.
High praise.
Similar archetype, better player. Kenneth Grant is a great nose tackle. I think he'll blossom a little bit in year 2. Zach Seiler is getting old, but he's still a really good defensive tackle as well. The DE2 is another one of these cases where, like, it's not good, but it's interesting, right? They got Josh Uche, who's, like, good at what he does, but 5'10". Tough. They have David Ojabo. Remember him?
Yeah.
He was, in theory, awesome. And then he just destroyed himself at his pro day and it never came back.
Yeah, that one was strange. He was also in Baltimore where like they use their rushers oddly and everything. So maybe if he gets into a different defense, he might be able to have a little more success. But yeah, he might also just not have the athleticism for it anymore after the injuries.
Yeah. So they could rotate in Clellan Ferrell. Clellan Ferrell is hilarious because, like, he's a 4th overall pick. So to the uninitiated, they're like, oh, he's got a ton of potential. He played at Clemson. He was a high recruit. He won a ton of games, had good production. 4th overall pick. He must be stellar. But if you, like, ever knew what was going on, if you don't even have to have scouted film. You could have just looked at, like, Mel Kiper's mock drafts. This guy was supposed to be, like, a 2nd-round pick. And John Gruden just liked his personality. Because remember, you may think that these billion-dollar, I guess $10 billion organizations are run by intelligent, logical, rational actors. But it's really just dudes with crushes on teenage boys. Clellan Ferrell was drafted 25 spots too high because John Gruden thought he was a winner. And Ryan Pace once traded up for Mitch Trubisky because he drove a shitty car and reminded him of Drew Brees. Those are not exaggerations.
It's just too much Northeast Ohio swag from Trubisky.
Is that what you call inbreeding where you're from? It's the most inbred motherfucker of all time.
Menor does have a little bit of that.
Yep, that checks out. Additionally, okay, like, I don't want to get hyped up about a round 7 pick. This Max Llewellyn kid from Iowa. I'm going to describe him accurately, and you're going to think, oh my God, this guy's amazing. And then I'll explain why that's wrong. 6'5", long arms, 250, 255, big white boy from Iowa, extremely efficient pass rusher, 90 plus pass rush grade from PFF, one of the best spin moves in college football last year. Do you want to know why he sucks?
Why does he suck?
He only does the spin move.
Oh no.
He's weak as fuck because he, like, when he rushes, he just instinctively stops his feet when he makes contact and starts to do his spin move. And if it doesn't immediately work, he's done. Reliability against the run, and I think he's like 23.
It was that Jordan Elliott that played for the Browns for a little bit, bounced around a little. That was the Missouri guy.
He has that one swim move, and that's it. Yeah. Same idea. Exact same idea. Like, almost identically ideal size, went to a school that makes you think he's going to be a solid, like, well-rounded player. Great PFF metrics, great statistical efficiency metrics. One incredible move, nothing else. Doesn't really understand how to play the game. And if you don't understand how to play defensive line, there's a cash register with your name on it. So yeah, they have at least half, probably 3/4 of an incredible defensive line, and then one gap. And there are things they could put in that gap, but, like, none of them are sure things, right? Uche, Ojabo, and Llewellyn could all be good. They could, but they probably won't. Linebackers, Jordan Brooks runs around and tackles. That's great. They currently don't have Jacob Rodriguez listed as a starter, but he will absolutely start. He's a fucking freak. The Dolphins did have a crazy good draft. They got some, like, they really added a lot to their team. Jacob Rodriguez is going to be a star linebacker in this league. They got Chris Johnson, who will be a solid corner in the 1st round. They got Michael Taffy, who's going to be a 10-year starting strong safety in the 5th round. They got Kyle Lewis, who's going to be a really good sub-package cover linebacker in the 4th round. Like, great draft. It's going to take time for it to actually turn into anything.
Yeah, it's a heck of a flyer on Llewellyn too.
Yeah. No, they drafted a bunch of, like, my guys. They also got they got Chris Bell out of Louisville, wide receiver, who's basically just a poor man's AJ Brown, but, like, still a good player, like a B to B plus AJ Brown. But he's injured, so it doesn't look like he's gonna play for a while. Yeah, so great defensive line, very good defensive line. Jordan Brooks, Jacob Rodriguez, and Kyle Lewis can be a good linebacking core. They also have Trey Moore, who's a rookie. I didn't scout him, so I don't know. And they have Willie Gay, who is so fast, but just always running in the wrong direction. That's so good front four, solid linebackers. The secondary is where shit gets so sad because before they drafted Chris Johnson, it looked like this could be the worst secondary of all time. Now that they drafted Chris Johnson, it looks like it's going to be a very bad secondary. Do you know anything about Jason Marshall Jr.?
Nope.
Me neither. Apparently, he was a 5th-round pick last year. Yeah. You know Juju Brents, or at least you should. He got drafted because he's tall.
Classic.
Can he move? Look, he's no Ben St. Juste, but it's not good. It's really not good. I think that they'll play Jason Marshall. They should play Jason Marshall in the slot and then let Chris Johnson and Juju Brents play outside. But apparently they intend on playing Chris Johnson in the slot, which is like the worst possible spot for him. He's a big, strong, physical corner. I really don't understand why he would be in the slot. I hope that that's a mistake, but if that's the case, then that just doesn't make any sense. If they're deployed perfectly, it's a C+ secondary. If it's deployed poorly, it could get worse. And then their safeties are Zane Anderson and Dante Trader. We're looking at C to C- here. Honestly, I'm kind of shocked Taffy hasn't stolen the starting job from Zane Anderson.
He probably will at some point, but he's still a rookie. It's preseason.
So all in all, this team sucks.
Yes.
I don't think they could beat the Raiders. They definitely aren't beating San Francisco, Kansas City, Minnesota, or Cincinnati. Spoiler alert, I think the Jets are better than them after the bye. New England, Detroit, Indy, Buffalo, these are all easy losses. They could steal one from the Jets, but they're not beating Denver. They're probably not beating Chicago. I doubt they beat Green Bay. They're not beating the Chargers. They're not beating Buffalo, and they're not beating New England. This team probably wins a game or two.
Yeah,
Like that's a fucking tough schedule.
It is.
They're only
And
winnable
especially
games.
like they could maybe pull out that New England game if New England is somehow like locked into a wild card spot or something like that. Like if there's enough room between them and Buffalo, whether they're leading or Buffalo is leading, but they're both going to be whoever like doesn't win the division or something is going to be the wild card one, then maybe they still take the week off. But yeah, it's a tough road for them.
If we pretend that they have a 50-50 shot of beating the Jets in both games, and we'll even be nice and call the Raiders a 50-50 game, that's 1.5 projected wins.
Yeah.
And we even give them New England at the week 18. That's 2.5 projected wins. The under is in play on the second lowest win total of all time.
Terrible.
Yeah. Well, hey, at least we get to talk about the Jets now.
Next up, we have the New York Jets with a win total projection of 5.5.
Okay, if the Jets had a quarterback, would they be cooking with gas? Because their offensive line is genuinely good. I will pull up the depth chart so that you're not just trusting me. Offensive line, you got Olu Fashanu. It's a really good player. Young, but like really athletic, good tackle. Other side, you got Armand Member. Strong as all hell. Good tackle. Your guards, Dylan Parham and Joe Tippmann, are a little bit not the sexiest. But like they're fine enough players. These are B- players. And then Josh Myers is a really good center. So you got 3 really good linemen and then 2 decent linemen. That's good as fuck. That's good.
Yeah.
At wide receiver, you got Garrett Wilson, who he's overrated. He's also really good. It's a B+ player. You got A.D. Mitchell, who everybody hates because he dropped a few balls last year. But I still think A.D. Mitchell is going to be a star in this league.
He's got all the tools.
Oh boy, does he. I mean, he is 6'2". He moves like he's 5'8". He's so quick. He's so fast. He's strong. It's just the drops are an issue. But I also think that having like Justin Fields throwing you the ball doesn't help that.
True. But he'll get a shot this year, so we'll get to see. It's exciting. And like we were kind of talking about earlier, now granted, we like A.D. Mitchell a little bit more. Would be happy to have him on a team we root for, but still happy he's getting a shot. And he's not just the 4th receiver on a decent team.
Well, isn't it funny how the Colts, this time last year, the Colts had 4 really fucking good receivers and they couldn't spread the ball around enough. Fast forward to this year, they've got 2 receivers worth of goddamn, and we're not sure that they're even going to be able to play all their formations because, like, they don't have the guys. A.D. Mitchell, I love him. My confidence in him is relatively low right now. Like I'm scared.
Yeah.
But I love him. Breece Hall apparently. Remember when we thought Breece Hall died, and then it turns out he's gonna be fine. They were like, "Oh, non-contact injury in practice. He's down clutching his knee." You know, he just stepped wrong. He's fine.
The training camp and preseason reporting is always so funny because everyone's just so starved for everything that any notable moment is like front page news.
But you just genuinely can't trust these people with anything. Like I saw a great fucking clip today. There's two different Eagles beat reporters, and one says, like, terrible throw by Jalen Hurts, broken up deep. And the other one's like, perfect throw by Jalen Hurts, and Devontae Smith drops it. And you finally see the footage, and it's like, oh no, it was a bad but not terrible throw. And Devontae Smith had a chance at it, but he kind of dropped it. But also he kind of got tackled because like, it was perfectly in the middle of these two extreme opposite descriptions. And they're no better with anything else. Injuries, drama. Today alone, in the span of 24 hours, JJ McCarthy lost the QB2 spot to Carson Wentz, was going to get cut, and then the coach came out and was like, no, he's absolutely our QB2. He was just injured and needed a day off. These people don't know shit.
Just that time of year.
They're the dumbest people. Beat reporters are dumb people. So yeah, Breece Hall's healthy and he's really good. And Braylon Allen is like quietly very, very good. And I hope he gets more reps this year. Just like, yeah, Breece Hall's sick, but like Braylon Allen deserves to be a good running back and he can do it. He just needs a chance. Look, I'm not excited about Jelani Woods or Jeremy Ruckert at tight end, but tight end is a repository. It's where you stash people who are a certain shape and they get the ball by default. I don't know who plays slot, whether it's this Colin Lacey, which can't be a real name. Colin Lacey is a black guy? Okay. Yeah, I had no idea. Rookie undrafted free agent. We'll see. I don't know what he is at all, evidently. But apparently he's starting over Tim Patrick, so he must be adequate. I don't know. He doesn't
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out.
Brother, it's an Aaron Glenn team. He doesn't have to be adequate at all. It could be a bad decision. But so it all comes down to Geno Smith at quarterback. What I've described so far is a team with a good offensive line and solid, if not really good weaponry.
Yeah.
If they had a quarterback, if they had drafted Ty Simpson, like smart guys, we'd be cooking with kerosene. Instead, they're going to just gamble on year 14 of Geno Smith, the Redux.
Can't be as bad as last time.
Well, I don't think that KP and Impale is around to punch him in the face and break his jaw. Like in the preseason, Geno has looked better than he did with the Raiders, but like it's over. He had one real good season with the Seahawks. He had a second acceptable season with the Seahawks, and that was it. That is the pinnacle. That is the apex. That is it. He is done. We're just kind of counting down the days till Cade Klubnik and probably somebody new next year. Again, it could have been Ty Simpson. This could have been a borderline playoff team, but the NFL's bad with quarterbacks. On to the defense. The Jets did some shit I like. They went and they got T'Vondre Sweat. I love T'Vondre Sweat. He just needs to stay in shape and try. He's so athletic and strong and quick. Really good defensive tackle. They have what's left of Harrison Phillips. I wouldn't write home about it. They have what's left of David Onyemata. I wouldn't write home about it, but both of those guys were fairly recently good players. So if T'Vondre Sweat can be their DT1 and one of those guys can step up as DT2 and they can kind of rotate to keep each other fresh, that's pretty good. On the outside, they overdrafted Yannick Ngakoue. I mean, David Bailey. There was a time when we were in college, I loved the speed rushing edges. Like, I don't give a fuck if you are strong enough at the point of attack, just get to the quarterback. I wanted speed, speed, speed. The NFL has changed, right? Because of all the quick drops and quick passing concepts, you can't be fast enough to disrupt those plays. You can only disrupt those plays if you're strong enough to just push through offensive line, which is why, like, if Jadeveon Clowney entered the league now instead of when he did, he would be a force and a half. Like, he was a force and a half in his time, but he would be dominant just because he fits exactly what the NFL is looking for right now. Big, strong, quick, powerful, right? Like, Clowney didn't have bend. Bailey has a ton of bend. He just can't do anything else.
Yeah. It's like that because so many defenses have moved to wanting to have fewer guys on the line and being able to disguise or have the option of dropping 7 or 8 guys back.
Yep.
And so you got to be able to handle kind of any situation.
You got to handle any situation, and you got to push the pocket rather than running around the side of it and diving through. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, Joseph Osai. We both like Joseph Osai. We both wanted him to get more of a chance in Cincy. Fast, long, good bend. It's just he's weak. So you got 2 edges that are kind of exciting but weak, and then you got Will McDonald, who's nothing. He's certainly not exciting. Just the Jets had a little run there where every year they would draft a first or second round defensive end who had no hopes of ever being really good, but draft Twitter loved it. Who's that other one? The Johnson. Was it Jermaine Johnson out of FSU? Just did nothing ever. And Greg Cosell's like, he should be the 4th overall pick. Why?
Who was their high pick that was from Ohio State? Is it Vernon Golston?
Brother, that is ancient history. But yes, Vernon Golston I thought was going to be amazing because his name was so cool.
Yeah. No, but I remember he was a big pick, and I mean, I don't really remember like what exactly happened to him. I just remember him being incredibly disappointing
Yeah,
and another in their list of busts.
that was before my football consciousness because that was the Rex Ryan defense when they were sick, and it's like, oh, dude, wait until Vernon Colston comes on, they're going to be sicker, and then he never did.
Hmm.
I would like you to notice that the Jets have a linebacker named Marcelino McCary Ball.
Hell yeah.
Marcelino is an incredible name. McCary Ball, he should have been a running back.
McCrary, even.
McCrary Ball, he's going to carry the ball. He's a backup, but it's just we were talking about cool names. Actually playing linebacker will be Demario Davis, or what is left of him, and Jamie Sherwood. I actually kind of like Jamie Sherwood. He's a B player. Demario Davis,
Love him.
he's been dancing on the cliff for a minute. Surely he will suck soon, right?
I mean, the math says it has to happen. The science tells us it's a surety, but I don't know, man. His career was over like 10 years ago. And then he reinvented himself and then became way better and has been in borderline elite linebacker for a while.
I feel like him, Levante David, and DeQuell Jackson all used the Saints as a way to become great. For like the Saints are the nexus point for linebackers who were just quietly great. Anyway, cornerback might be an issue. But it's another area where it's like they got some of my guys. Like, so they're starting Nahshon Wright. They shouldn't. Nahshon Wright had an incredible year last year and definitely should have made the Pro Bowl. Not because he's actually good at football, but because he just had the luckiest fucking year conceivable when it came to fumbles. He forced so many goddamn fumbles and he picked up so many goddamn fumbles that he was extremely valuable, even though it's never going to happen again. And if it does happen again, he's Peanut Tillman reincarnate, I guess. Brandon Stevens is a fine enough player. So you've got a C. Nahshon Wright's a C player. He gave you an A player value last year, but he's a C player. Brandon Stevens a B player. That's bad. I love D'Angelo Pons. D'Angelo Pons is an incredible cornerback. He's just tiny. I mean, he can hit, he can cover, he can range. He's actually pretty good at the catch point, but he's 5'8".
And that's a good nickelback though.
Oh, he's a perfect nickel. And like, he's one of those guys, like I really wanted him in the third round. I wasn't sure I wanted him in the second round. But no, I mean, he's one of my guys. I love him. And then they also have two really interesting backup corners who frankly I think can compete for starting jobs on this team. We're going to say it carefully, Quantez Stiggers.
Good job.
Quantez is one of my favorite stories because he played for the Hamilton Tiger Cats in the CFL before getting drafted.
That's
and cool. He's athletic. He's the right size. He just needs more experience. And then on the other side is Azarie Thomas, who's one of those big corners who kind of got drafted for his height, but he like actually can play a little bit. Oh, unfortunately, he's only 6'1". He was listed at 6'2" in college. FSU, decent ball skills, decent play strength, decent in man coverage. He's not very quick, but he's fluid. Like he's not clumsy like a lot of the taller corners are. And I think he could be a B player, maybe a B- player.
Yeah,
that's totally within the realm of possibility.
Yeah, if you can have good ball skills and you've got some fluidity at 6'1", you're going to be able to stick with some of those like number 2 receivers that aren't really that fast or quick, but they just are good at jumping and catching. And if you can go disrupt that, that's valuable.
Well, I think he could do that like Martin Emerson role where he's just like, hey, that's the big guy. You go get the big guy.
Yeah, just stick on him well enough and then jump with him.
Although, have you heard that like apparently Martin Emerson is that like fried worm from SpongeBob? He's been getting cooked so bad in practice.
Dang.
Yeah, it's
I
bad.
thought I saw some reports that he was doing really well, so I was like, hell yeah, he's back.
Against the Cowboys this past week or two, it's been like burnt toast.
Not ideal, but I have faith in him.
Yeah, he's big and strong. He'll figure it out. Safeties. I love Andre Sisco. I really like Andre Sisco. I don't like Minkah Fitzpatrick, but if you're going to play him at safety, that's probably the best place to put him. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
so
it's decent. It shouldn't be terrible, but it's also not going to be great.
Well, so we say that about almost every position on the Jets, right? Every position is either good or decent enough with hope, right? But the problem is they're missing the marquee things. They don't have the corner. They don't have the edges. They don't have the quarterback. And that's why they're projected to win 5.5 games. I mean, let's go through it. They're going to beat Tennessee because everybody is. But then Green Bay is tough. The more I think about it, the more I think Green Bay might be ass.
I don't think you can say that's even a toss-up.
I'm going to say it's a toss-up for fun.
Okay, I'll disagree with you, but that's fine.
They're not beating Detroit. They're not beating Chicago.
Toss-up against Cleveland.
Cleveland is a very fun game in that they are kind of the same team. Like if either of them had just decided to draft Ty Simpson, they'd be good.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a toss-up. Those two teams are eternally going to play close, heartbreaking games.
Did Cleveland have a top 10 pick this year? Or did they trade it?
Yeah, no, they traded it.
Okay.
Because they got KC. No, they took Fano.
Oh, yeah, no, they definitely should have took Ty Simpson instead of their center. Because Fano will eventually be a center. They're not beating New England. We'll say they're toss-up with the Dolphins. We'll say they're toss-up with the Raiders. They're not beating Kansas City or Buffalo or the Chargers. Another toss-up with Miami. Then the bye week, then they get butt-fucked by Denver. They're going to lose to New England, Miami, and Buffalo again. Even if Buffalo plays the backups, they'll probably fucking lose. And they have Arizona, which is another toss-up. So we are looking at 3 to 6 wins.
Yeah, maybe slight under, but I don't know if I really want to bet on that.
The AFC East is playing tough teams this year.
Yeah, they have some is what it's NFC North and AFC West.
Yeah, those are probably the two of the 3 best divisions in football.
Yes.
Maybe the best 2, and they're going to play both of them. No, it's not the best 2 because the NFC West the Rams are so good.
Yeah, the NFC North doesn't have any like bad teams.
No, it's probably the worst division to play against because there is no cupcake.
Right. Like every game is either going to be against a good team or at least a decent team.
All right. I don't want to bet the under on 4.5 or 5.5 games, but like I lean that way on both of them. To the Patriots.
Next up, we have the New England Patriots with a win total of 9.5.
Yes. The Patriots are going to be a better team. This is not like a fun or unique take. Like people have said this all summer. They're going to be a better team this year than they were last year, but they're almost certainly not going to the Super Bowl, and they might not even win as many games. Might not even win the division.
Yeah, schedule. Much tougher schedule this year.
Yeah, last year a lot of things had to go right. They had a pretty weak schedule. Although it gets overrated. Like people say they had a really weak schedule. It was below average in terms of difficulty, but it was not crazy. Let's get this out of the way. The best quarterback in the world is on this team. It is insane to me that a second-year quarterback came in second place by 1 vote for the MVP and only lost to Matt Stafford because Matt Stafford is a seasoned veteran who has never won one and kind of needs one for his Hall of Fame bid in a year or two. And people have the audacity, after he goes to the Super Bowl, albeit not because of his own doing, to rank him outside the top 5, some outside the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, I think just the poor playoff showing really left a sour taste in people's mouths.
Well, those people are retarded because one of the games was in a fucking blizzard. One of the games was in a fucking thunderstorm. And yeah, he didn't play good against the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. That was bad.
And like also, they didn't have a ton of talent on the team.
Well, that's the thing. They had none. Like Stephon Diggs was very, very far and away their second best offensive player. And he is a middling at best wide receiver too.
Yeah. So it's also just like once you get into you're playing the top teams and now you're like really outclassed talent wise, it's tougher. So I mean, I get it. It wasn't good, but I think his regular season and what we kind of thought he would be and then him following it up, he's still really, really good. But I understand why people kind of are lower on him than maybe they were after like the regular season finished.
I could see that. I get behind that. But like even people are like, oh, when he played the good teams in the playoffs, he sucked. Okay, so when he beat the Bills and the Ravens in the regular season, that was nothing? Because he did that with a shit team, with a bad team. So this year, the team's going to be a lot better. We'll start off with, like, the real problem. Their running backs suck. Ramondre Stevenson is not explosive, but he's also not reliable because he's extremely fumble-prone. That's a shit sandwich between 2 loaves of shit. Travion Henderson, he frustrated me last year when he was drafted and during the season. Because when I was scouting him, I was like, look, his speed's okay. It's very overrated. His 40 is extremely misleading. He's not crazy fast. And he doesn't have really any power. And he doesn't have great vision. But if you give him a hole, he can cut through that hole and he'll run, and he's got good hands, and he's really fucking good in pass protect. And I was like, this is Shane Vereen, also a Patriot, ironically enough, or serendipitously enough. Like, I like Shane Vereen. I think that's a good, useful player. But when Patriots fans were freaking out, like, oh my God, they got Travion Henderson in the second round, that's going to help Drake May so much, I was like, motherfuck how? First of all, he's a running back. It doesn't really help your quarterback, like, ever. Second of all, he's not good. Like, he didn't start in college. And, like, yeah, Quinshon Judkins is really good. But, like, he got benched. Like, his team saw him play for multiple years, and then said, we need to go spend a lot of money for somebody better.
Yeah, we need more.
And by the way, the guy who they got that's better is no star. Quinton Judkins is fine. He's good even, but he's not like a fucking freak. It's not like they went and got Jahmyr Gibbs. So yeah, that's dumb. All that's dumb. And then he was frustrating to actually watch play because A, no vision as a runner, and B, complete and total liability in pass protection, which was supposed to be his selling point, because he just isn't strong. Like, he's strong enough to handle college guys. It's not strong enough to handle NFL guys.
Yeah, not a great room.
No, it's a bad room.
It's unexplosive. It's not good at the little things. Unexplosive. I don't know if that's a word. Not explosive.
Inert.
There you go.
Yeah, no, I fucking hate this running back room. All of them, I cut all of them. They're going to be better running backs than their starter in free agency that get cut on Sunday. That won't happen, but it should. Receivers, night and day, right? You go from Stephon Diggs being your best receiver to AJ fucking Brown. And I know AJ Brown didn't look like AJ Brown last year, right? He wasn't like dominating the way you think of with AJ Brown. But a lot of that is just because AJ Brown was sick and goddamn tired of playing with a fullback at quarterback. Like, yeah, AJ Brown should be bigger than that. He should try harder than that. He should be a leader. At the end of the day, I don't fucking care, because you know what AJ Brown's never going to do? Tout that his quarterback's the best in the world. Like, Eagles fans have been really going through it. Like, you've seen each fucking step into their descent into psychosis, where they're like, AJ Brown's not even fucking leaving. What are you guys talking about? You're making up rumors. He and Jalen Hurts are best friends. Jalen Hurts is great. And it's like, well, actually, we're going to get like 2 first-round picks for AJ Brown because everybody wants him because he's sick as fuck, and we're going to use those to go get somebody even better probably, so it's fine. And then it's, well, actually, we didn't even want AJ Brown, and actually, he's bad, and actually, he's washed up, and Devontae Smith is better. And then it's actually, AJ Brown not only is washed up, but also he's bad for your team because he hates quarterbacks, and he's going to throw fits and want the ball, and then it's going to actually make your team worse. And it's like, hey, have you ever stopped to consider, like, Drake May's good at getting him the ball, so he'll be happy?
Yeah.
Have you ever considered that, like, when good receivers play with good quarterbacks, they don't complain because they're happy? You know, like Randy fucking Moss did with the Patriots so many years ago. And by all accounts, AJ Brown has been like unbelievably dominant in practice. So yeah, this is one of, if not the best wide receiver quarterback duos in the league. And I'm very excited to see what happens.
Yeah, now, I mean, the big arm capabilities with May and the downfield with AJ Brown, it's going to be some big time throws, some explosives.
Yes. I think that's a great point. So, like, how many times have we heard coping Eagles fans use those contrived statistics to be like, well, actually, Jalen Hurts completes the highest percentage of downfield throws, the deep passes. He's actually like the best deep passer in the league statistically. It's like, all right, well, first of all, go fuck yourself. Watch the games. Don't tell me numbers. Watch the games. If you watch the games, you'll see a lot of those deep balls are thrown like monkey asshole, prolapsed monkey asshole. And then AJ Brown goes up and he steals them from God and defensive backs and everybody else. And he turns interceptable passes into touchdowns. We've seen it so many times. And now, suddenly, those balls will be thrown to him and only him. Like, he won't have to steal them. Imagine what he could do now. Oh, it's going to be glorious. And then on the other side, we've got a receiver who we already know dramatically improves your deep ball completion rate because he just will win the fucking ball. He's fast, he's strong, he will win the ball. He does trend. You add to that the best deep passer of my lifetime, a guy who as a rookie was more accurate on deep attempts than most quarterbacks were on all attempts. Drake May is going to the Hall of Fame this year. It's going to be nuts. And there's also a second order thing, right? So like you've got the dynamicism of these two vectors like exponentially amplifying each other. But the second order logic is that what's the biggest issue, aside from Will Campbell having dino arms? What is the biggest issue facing the Patriots offense last year? I will tell you. It is that Josh McDaniels seems to think it's 2003. And so he runs the ball and he throws short and he doesn't let Drake May fucking slang it. Well, you know what might encourage him to let Drake May slang it?
AJ Brown?
Having a fucking all-world receiver. And if Eagles fans are right and AJ Brown bitches and says, I need the ball more, you know what? That's a good thing.
That'll be good.
It's a really good thing because every single play that the Patriots aren't letting Drake May throw the ball, they're taking a knife and they're stabbing one of their toes for no reason because their running game sucks and Drake May is the best. And you should also never run the ball anyway unless you have an elite running back. So,
and they do not.
AJ Brown changes everything. But then additionally, they go and they get Romeo Doubs. Now, Romeo Doubs is the most concentrated, distilled pinnacle of average that has ever been created. He is a bold underlined B. He's the fucking prototype of all the average receivers in the NFL. Every starting receiver in the NFL combined, they took the dead average and they rounded to the nearest millionth. And that is Romeo Doubs. He is 6'2", perfectly normal size. He is strong, but not A.J. Brown trend, perfectly normal. He's not slow, but he is absolutely a million miles from fast, perfectly average. He's smart, but he's no Devontae Adams with the routes. He's got good hands, but he's not stealing any balls. He is dead motherfuck average. He can play slot, he can play X, he can play Z. Plays all of them equally because he's dead average. But dead average is fine for a wide receiver too. Better than fucking Kayshon Boutte. So whereas Romeo Doubs might have been their best receiver last year, now he's there too. And he's a very reliable too. And then their third receiver is going to be some mixture of Pop Douglas, who's electric fast but dumb and small, and Mac Hollins, who's very slow but smart and reliable and huge and not wearing shoes.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously way better. It's still not super deep, but they've got a legit elite number one receiver, and then they've got some solid guys that can handle roles behind that.
It is an above average receiving room. Not good, but above average. It's like a B plus receiving room as compared to a team last year that had like a C receiving room. Like last year, if Drake May wanted to throw a deep ball, who does he throw it to?
Mac Hollins.
Or fucking Kyle Williams 3 times a game. Like, yeah, now he's got A.J. Brown. And Romeo Doubs is fine. You can run him on a deep route and have him try to be a possession X. He's not good at it, but he's not bad. That's the beauty of Romeo Doubs. No matter what you ask him to do, it's fine. It's never good, but it's always fine. He's another one of those guys where, like, I don't want my team to have Romeo Doubs because that's not the style of player I like, but he's very useful. At tight end, Hunter Henry quietly has stayed healthy for several consecutive years, which is weird, and he is an above average tight end. And then I really like this rookie, Eli Raridan, rookie out of Notre Dame. He's a Notre Dame guy, so you know he blocks, and he's actually really athletic and big. I think he's going to be, like, really good. Yeah, he's 6'6", 245. From Des Moines, so you know he blocks, and he does block. You know, Notre Dame was a run-first team, and he absolutely played his part. But he's really fucking fast. He moves really well. It was like I didn't give him a full scouting report just because I didn't get around to it. But he would have been either my tight end 1 or tight end 2.
Yeah.
I mean, he was really good. Offensive line. This is gonna I'm gonna like have to take some deep breaths because they make me so mad. It's just dumb. Everything they do is fucking dumb. So they drafted Will Campbell at 4 to be a left tackle. And what did the fucking stoned barber say in Chappelle's show? You should have never trusted him in the first place. Will Campbell was never a tackle. He was always small. He always had narrow shoulders. He was always kind of weak. And yes, he was effective in the SEC, but the NFL's better. The NFL's even better than Big Ten, much less the SEC. I don't have a favorite college football team like that, but I am partial to the Big Ten because that's the Midwest, and I'm from the capital of the Midwest.
Represent.
Will Campbell is going to be a really good guard one day, but until then, he's going to be a bad tackle. I mean, he got abused, and Patriots fans love to cope and say, like, oh, well, he got hurt, and he wasn't the same after the injury. Really? Well, he wasn't hurt week 2 when he got beaten like a drum 5 times by Myles Garrett and co. He wasn't hurt week 1 when Max Crosby lined up on the opposite side, so he didn't have to block Max Crosby, and Malcolm Kuntz ate his lunch several times. Malcolm Kuntz is a rotational edge, motherfucker. He's not a starter. So, Will Campbell, bad. Don't fucking argue with me. I know you. I hear you. I hear you thinking. I know. Mills, you're thinking about arguing with me. Don't do it. Because you don't want to go watch offensive line tape. It makes me fall asleep, very literally. When I'm fucking grading offensive linemen for the draft, I do fall asleep multiple times. It is boring. It's not hard, but it sucks. Especially without any volume. You just kind of doze off. You wake up and you're like, oh, fuck. Now I got to watch that whole game again. Because that's the other thing. All the plays look the same when you're grading offensive linemen, except for like 5 plays that look different. And those are the only 5 that matter. So Will Campbell, bad left tackle, absolute liability. I mean, he's got short arms, so it's hard for him to reach people, which means he has to be better with his feet. But here's the other problem. He's below average with his feet. And when he does fucking finally reach, he's weak because he's not fast enough on his feet, so he's always leaning, and his arms are short, so he's not fucking locking out. He's got no chance. He's fucked. It's going to be a really good guard or center. Low-key, the Patriots got Elijah Vera Tucker, who's an elite guard. Now, he's always hurt, but if he plays, he's elite.
Yeah.
True A to A- player. And he can play all 5 positions, too. He's got short arms, or else he'd be a franchise left tackle.
And he doesn't play.
Yeah, and he doesn't play. We'll get to their depth in a moment, though. I actually I'm not worried about him missing time. And in fact, low-key, I think it could be really good for them if he misses like a month or two in the middle of the season. I'll explain in a moment. Because Garrett Bradbury is gone and he sucks, the Patriots finally can move Jared Wilson into center where he belongs. I think he's going to be a really, really good center. I thought he was an okay guard as a rookie, but that's not his position. He's a center. He was a center at Georgia. He's a good center. Play him at center. At right guard is Mike Onwenu. He can play tackle. He can play guard. He's better at guard because he's fat all the time. He never gets in shape. And then right tackle Morgan Moses is the right tackle version of Romeo Dobbs in that he is the epitome of average in all ways. He is the inflection point where, like, if you're worse than him, you shouldn't start. And if you're better than him, good starter. He's the worst good starter or the best not so good starter.
Like the DAC line.
Yes, he is the DAC line. He is the Romeo Dobbs line. He's the line for tackle. So you've got bad tackle, great guard, good center, good guard, okay tackle. If only they had a really good tackle to make this offensive line awesome. Oh, wait, they drafted the best offensive tackle in the draft, Caleb Lomu, at the end of the first round because he fell for God knows what reason, and they aren't playing him. Do you want to hear some shit, Alex? Do you want to you want to scoff with me real quick?
Let's scoff, Joe.
So there was a moment where Will Campbell missed time this summer, couldn't practice. So they needed a left tackle. Well, they got Caleb Lomu, who, let's back up even a little bit further, at Utah. Caleb Lomu and Spencer Fano came in at the same time, both 5-star recruits. Or I think Fano was a 5-star and Lomu was a 4-star. Both highly recruited players. Fano was supposed to play left tackle until they realized that Caleb Lomu, a left tackle in high school, was really struggling to play right tackle. He really only understood his footwork on the left side. So they moved Fano, 5-star recruit, stud, to the right side to accommodate Lomu's preference, right? And then they both started for several years and were both great. And I think Lomu is the better player because he's got better size. He's great pass protector, and I think he's got upside in the run game that he hasn't realized yet but will. So Utah realized this guy needs to play left tackle. The Patriots have a bad left tackle. And for a while, this summer, he couldn't practice, so they needed a left tackle. They refused to let Caleb Lomu play left tackle with the first team. They refused to let him play with the second team. I got a couple sources pretty tied in with the Patriots, and our theory is that they don't want Caleb Lomu playing left tackle with the first team because they don't want people to see the controversy that will arise if and when Lomu does better than Will Campbell.
Hell yeah, conspiracy time.
Because, of course, when Morgan Moses missed time, the right tackle, because he's old.
Right.
You know who played right tackle? Caleb Lomu. Which, by the way, is the position that he apparently struggles with relative to left tackle. They played him there. So whoever is their backup left tackle, I guess is James Hudson. James Hudson plays backup left tackle. But the star left tackle, first round pick, Caleb Lomu, does not play backup left tackle. He only plays backup right tackle. And when Mike Onwenu misses time, Caleb Lomu practices at right guard and even left guard sometimes. He's practiced everywhere but center and left tackle. I think it's on purpose. I think they
Has he played left tackle in any of the preseason games?
Yes, he did against the Eagles. You know what he did? He looked fucking good. He had one cut block where he jumped a little too early and it looked goofy because he kind of did a barrel roll into the guy's knees and it was clumsy and not effective. But other than that, really good. I charged him with 0 sacks.
Nice.
And I watched twice because people kept on talking about it. Yeah, no, what they should do, and if they listened to me, they'd be great. Their offensive line should go Lomu left tackle, Vera Tucker left guard, Jared Wilson center, Will Campbell right guard, Mike Onwenu right tackle. That's a good motherfucking line. But so I think if Elijah Vera Tucker misses some October or November, that's a good thing because then they'll have no left guard and they'll be forced to either play Lomu next to Campbell at left guard. And then people will be like, yeah, that Lomu guy's better. Or better yet, they'll kick Will Campbell into guard and stick Lomu at left tackle where he belongs. And suddenly they'll realize this is the answer we've been looking for the entire time.
I think you're dreaming a little bit on the second one, at least this season. But I think that'll happen. I think it might just take longer than we want.
I agree. Because the Patriots, the Vrabel specifically, chose Will Campbell at 4. That was his guy. He said Will Campbell's going to be an all-pro left tackle. So he kind of is married to trying to make Will Campbell an all-pro left tackle.
Yeah. And I get it. You took the guy at 4 overall. You got to give him at least another year.
Sure. I think after 8 weeks this year, it's going to be like, all right, come on.
Yeah, that's fair. And I could see them making the switch if he's tanking it and they're not winning as much as they can because he's just such a hole. But I feel like other than that, they'll try.
The problem is that Drake May is too fucking good at navigating the pocket. It's never going to matter.
Exactly. So that's why I think it'll be maybe an off-season thing. And they go, hey, we're going to move him into guard because you think he can be the best guard in the league. And he's a good tackle, but he could be the best guard in the league.
Yeah. And that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I thought he would hang at left tackle. I thought he'd be an all-pro guard. Do that. Anyway, so the offense is going to be a lot better. And it was already decent. Now it's going to be good, despite the fact they can't run the ball. But I think
I was about to say it's really just the running backs that are a weak point. But if you can pass that well, you're going to be against light boxes all the time. And if the O line's pretty good, you're going to have lanes.
and theoretically, or not Mike, if only Josh McDaniels will realize our running backs suck, our quarterback's awesome, our receivers are awesome. Let's just throw a lot.
Yeah, just do like the cliff run game of just
to keep
screens.
Yeah, exactly. So moving to defense, this defense is going to be average, but I hate so much about it. So your defensive line, Christian Barmore is good. Patriots fans think he's great. That's wrong. He's good. Milton Williams is really good, but he's not great. He's just really good. And he can't play that much. He needs to stay fresh. He can't eat snaps the way you would like him to. The edges are terrible. And they have invested so many picks and dollars in edges that never had a chance of being good. So they got Draymond Jones. What Draymond Jones is a three technique who's bad at that. So they skinnied him up a tiny bit and moved him to edge where he's also bad at that.
Yeah. Cleveland Heights represent, but not really Cleveland Heights, but
he should have been a three tech. If he was a three tech, he could be a real starter. As it stands, he's being paid a lot, but he's not good at football.
Wasn't he a three tech when he was in Denver?
He was a three tech,
Seattle, or wherever the heck he was.
He was a three tech all the way up until halfway through Tennessee, at which point he switched over to edge. And then the Ravens were like, oh, we like our edges to never get a pass rush and just stop the run. Draymond, play edge. And he was like, yeah, I'm an edge. And you know how with Jamal Williams, there's a stigma. He's like, no, I'm a safety, not a linebacker, even though it does the same thing.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, it's similar with defensive linemen. They're like, yeah, I'm an edge. I'm cool. Oh no, they called me a defensive tackle. Now I'm a loser. You just get the fuck over it. You're big and strong. Be big and strong. It's fun. Anyway.
It's like when tight ends were all mad about not being classified as receivers. Yeah, I know there's also a money aspect to that, but
well, I mean, same with tackles and ends. But it's there are certain positions that are like the baby brother position, right? You don't want to be a safety, you want to be a corner. You don't want to be a linebacker, you want to be a safety. You don't want to be a tackle, you want to be an end. I don't understand why, but that's what it is. Draymond Jones should be playing tackle, he's playing end, he's not good at it. Harold Landry, it's over. I loved him so goddamn much. I mean, this is one of my favorite players. This is a bendy pass rushing edge, the exact kind of guy I liked back when he was coming out in that draft. He was my type from my school, has a cool name. That's my guy.
And he had some seasons, man.
He had seasons back when we were pounding the table saying this Tennessee Titans, this is the second or third best roster in the NFL, and nobody agreed with us, and we made so much money.
Not as much though, thanks to the aforementioned Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, and also the units were smaller back then. The units
much
were $100 a game, and I'm sitting here like, Alex, I made $1,000. Yeah, it's not even money anymore. Thanks, insane. Obama. So yeah, Landry sucks. Draymond Jones sucks for opposite reasons. There's another funny one because of the quirks of sample sizes and PFF grades. When the Patriots signed Harold Landry, a bunch of their fans, prominent aggregates, were like, Harold Landry's awesome against the run. He's not very good against the pass, but he can stuff the run. 85 PFF run grade. And I'm like, what? They're like, well, he didn't get an 85 PFF grade for nothing. I'm like, no, yeah, he did. You could say he's good, you could say he's bad. That's not my issue. You have him backwards as a player.
Yes.
And then they argued with me. The next step was, well, he's never rushed next to a defensive tackle like Christian Barmore. Pass rush. You fucking Jeffrey Simmons? Who's that? What? Real arguments I had with real people who I know by name. Yeah. Patriots fans, man, they're a trip. They're not nearly as bad as I once thought they were, but they are a trip. Patriots drafted Gabe Yakis. Looks like jackass. It's pronounced Yakis. Now here's the skinny on Gabe Yakis. Big as fuck, strong as fuck, crazy numbers at the combine. Went to Illinois, so I guess I have some kind of an allegiance to him. Not really. I have no identification with Illinois. Yeah, 6'4", 260. Real throwback power edge. His issue is he fucking sucks at rushing the passer. I mean, he's pretty good against the run. Not great, but good. It's just he has no penetration at all. Pause. Play. His body moves quickly, but he doesn't have like a good burst off the line, and I don't really understand why. Like when you look at it, you're like, oh, he's moving, but then when you actually look at like how much ground he's covered, he's covering none. And then as strong as he is, he's much more of a sustainer than a popper. You know what I mean? Like he
Yeah,
can,
where he just kind of like holds you there compared to like
yes.
making up ground.
Yes, very 4 or 5 technique in that he'll like contain the pocket. He'll set the edge, but he's never pushing it. He's never penetrating. Like this is a dude who's going to max out at like 6 sacks. So to recap, we have 2 really good defensive tackles playing defensive tackle, and we have 2 acceptable defensive tackles playing defensive end, and we have Harold Landry, who needs to go home. Can't run on him.
I was about to say they should be good against the run.
They spent a butt fuck ton of money on white linebackers who aren't good. They got Bobby Spillane, Chicago boy, cousin of Ryan, my buddy at Miami.
Fun.
Love him, more power to him, smart guy. When you're in year 9 and you were never fast to begin with and you're a little undersized, I got questions. And the questions are more like warnings, and the warnings are more like, uh-oh. And then Christian Ellis is supposed to be like a blitzing kind of guy. Like he's supposed to be really good as a pass rusher, but he never actually gets sacks. So I don't really get it. I don't know what his purpose is.
Feels like there's a lot of that on this defense.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I think these linebackers are just kind of like, oh, fuck, we need a linebacker. What's left? Because like KJ Britt is the linebacker version of Ruben Randall, Terrence Marshall. Like, oh, he's so athletic. SEC star. Really? Because what is he good at anything? What does he do? He ran a pretty good 40. That's kind of it. Okay. So the linebackers are kind of a problem. And that means that of your front 7, your defensive tackles are good and everything else is kind of a problem. Hot start. Things get really fun really fast, though, because Christian Gonzalez is the best corner in football. Patrick Surtain, lick my taint. Not close. I think Gonzalez is way better. Carlton Davis is a decent second corner. He's got terrible ball skills, but he is probably the best big corner in the league right now. Low bar. Patrick Surtain does not count as a big corner because he's actually good. They're similar size, but like Patrick Surtain plays corner rather than just tall guy on the outside. I love Marcus Jones in the slot. He's getting better at playing corner, but his movement skills and his instincts are just too insane to pass up. So that's a really, really good cornerback core. And then their safeties. Craig Woodson, I really like. He's really smart. He was a late round rookie last year, I think, like 5th or 6th round, 4th round. Okay, so not as late as I thought. Just really smart, really savvy, always knows where to be, really smart at jumping out of his zones. Like he's just a good, solid, strong safety, exactly what you want. And then Kevin Byard still got it, man. I mean, he's a good free safety. He's got just enough range still. He had a really nice season with the Bears.
Yeah, I mean, he's not what he once was, but he's still a solid starter.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So the Patriots have a really good secondary, really good. They have no pass rush, they have no linebackers, but it's going to be tough to run against them because they made their entire defensive line out of defensive tackles.
Yeah.
So you can't pass on them because the secondary is too good, and you can't run on them because they have an immobile wall for a line. It's decent defense.
Yeah, like there are definitely ways to attack that defense, but it's got 2 very important parts. And that they're going to be able to stop the run with their big D line, and they're going to be able to stop passes with their very good corners and pretty solid safeties.
Should we count the wins?
Yeah. So the projection is 9.5.
Seattle week 1's tough. I don't think they win that.
No, probably not.
Pittsburgh week 2 is easy. I think they win that.
Yep.
Jacksonville at week 3 is a tough game. It's a toss-up, but I think the Patriots win.
That's fair. I mean, I think it definitely falls into toss-up, but take the better quarterback.
Buffalo, toss-up.
Yeah.
Raiders is easy.
Mm-hmm.
Jets is easy.
Yep.
At Bears, week 7. I think this is kind of a win.
It should be, but again, you're now the Ben Johnson versus Vrabel situation where...
Yeah, but I have a really, really fucking good quarterback against a really bad quarterback.
True, but in recent years, it's been more the coach than the quarterback.
Yeah, but I think that reason that is because the best quarterbacks of this era have been decent quarterbacks of the past era. Whereas I think May is genuinely on that Peyton Manning, Tom Brady level.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't fight you if you said they win that game.
They win that game. You can't fight me now. Miami week 8, you want to fight me on that one?
No.
Green Bay, I think Green Bay's a win.
I think so too, because they'll frustrate him with the run, and then Jordan Love's going to have to pass against a good secondary, and Drake May will be able to score. So that defense for Green Bay is nothing insane.
Oh, Green Bay has no corners, so AJ Brown's gonna eat. Week 10 Detroit, that's a tough fucking game. I would say the Chargers is a loss, except it's off a bye, so like low end toss up.
Yeah.
Buffalo's always a toss up. They just always play each other tight. Minnesota, that's a win.
Yes.
Kansas City, close.
Yeah, toss up just because it's at Kansas City late in the year.
Jets is a win.
Yes.
Denver is close. I think it's a win, but we'll see. And then Miami week 18 is a win if they want it.
Yes.
So we've got 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. We got 8 wins that are pretty much locked up, plus Miami if they want it. So we got a floor of 9 wins. And then 2, 4, 6, 7. So like that puts them at like 12 wins.
Projections 9.5.
Fuck, dude. I don't know.
Do you get worried at all about some of that Super Bowl hangover where a lot of the teams that lose the Super Bowl struggle the next year?
No, because I don't think the Patriots, like, first of all, half the team wasn't there.
Yeah, and like they probably improved this offseason.
Well,
Tougher
that's the thing.
schedule, but it's a better team. Whereas most teams where they get a tougher schedule and they lose guys because they probably were paying somebody a lot.
Well, also, like, to the extent you make the Super Bowl and lose, typically you think you're really good. You can't really add players because you're trying to keep everybody. To the extent that you have any changes, you're losing dudes rather than like upgrading significantly. And most of your team is probably going to stay the same. Whereas in this case, half the team is new. The Patriots didn't expect anything last year. So, like, there's not a sense within that locker room that they are a Super Bowl team.
Yeah, but now maybe the pressure's on.
Maybe the pressure's on, but I can tell you for a fact, like, Mike Vrabel thinks that last year was a fluke. He was telling his girlfriend to report in the media quite a bit in the spring, like, this team, I know we went to the Super Bowl, but we are not that good. Like, we are not a Super Bowl team. Literally, you can find Diana Rossini was reporting, like, the Patriots don't think that they're as good as maybe their result said last year, and like their depth is poor. And then Mike Vrabel
Just trying to keep the boys hungry.
Last week, Vrabel was on fucking local Boston TV, and he was like, "Yeah, our depth is not good. We're kind of not that good."
Counterpoint: they have a UDFA cornerback named Channing Canada.
Oh, they got some names. Have you seen their third string running back's name?
Lan Larison.
And he's a white. They got Jamichael Hasty, which is always a great name.
Classic.
Their third string quarterback / backup punter is Baron Morton.
That's always a good one too.
They do have Tommy DeVito for whatever that's worth, I guess. John Darius Morgan.
John Darius is fun, but
John Darius rules.
It's no Channing Canada. We've played hockey with kids from Channing Canada.
Is that a place?
Has to be.
Has to be.
It's outside of Vancouver.
Kindle Vildor, I feel like, is a name that doesn't get enough attention as being just fucking absurd. Kindle's not a name.
No, that's a tablet.
And Vildor, I don't even know what the hell that is. That's fucking Dothraki. Yeah, I think this team I think 12 wins is like not unreasonable. I hate their coach. I don't like their offensive coordinator. I don't like their running back. I think their offensive line deployment is dumb. I hate their defensive ends a lot. But they have the best quarterback in the world. They got an elite receiver. They got a pretty decent offensive line. They got the best corner in the world. It's a lot of good things.
Absolutely.
All right, maybe we'll put a unit on the Patriots over. To the Bills?
One unit over?
Come on, we're going to do 2 units. We're not bitches.
Are we betting on the Miami one?
No.
Okay. And closing out the AFC East, we have the Buffalo Bills with a win total projection of 10.5 wins.
The Bills, I mean, it's the same fucking team every year, so we don't have to get into too much. Like, yeah, Josh Allen, sick as hell, top 3. Maybe, probably 2. Probably number 2 behind May. James Cook, awesome running back. Fumbling issues a little bit, but really good running back. Great receiver. The offensive line is very solid, right? No studs, but like lots of good players. We don't need to go player by player. The tight ends, Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox, are both really underwhelming. And frankly, low-key, Dawson Knox is better than Dalton Kincaid. Needs to be said. He's a B+. Kincaid's a B to a B-. But like...
They both play a lot. I think it's kind of negligible.
They are both a really good example and honestly one of the founding pieces of evidence of my theory that like tight ends are not the entree. Tight ends are like the side they bring after you've already started eating your entree, right? You don't build the offense through the tight ends. You build the offense and then the tight ends get the scraps, and the scraps are plenty because everybody's worried about everything else. The receivers last year were bad because Khalil Shakir is like a B to B+ receiver, and he was clearly the number 1 guy. And he's a slot restricted dude who mostly only beats zone. Remember when they signed Josh Palmer and their GM went on fucking local radio and got mad and was like, "Oh, we didn't address wide receiver. We got Josh Palmer. He's a star."
Hmm.
Yeah, no, he still is Josh Palmer, the epitome of a B minus. He's nothing. But this year they actually went out and traded for DJ Moore, and I think that was one of the perfect trades of all time in that the Bears needed to get rid of DJ Moore. It was time. They had a log jam at receiver. They're getting expensive, and they didn't really need him because they have Luther Burden and they have Roma Dunze. But the Bills got a really good receiver. And like, yeah, he's not what he was, but he's still very good.
Yeah. And he's going to be able to go run those deep routes, fight for position, get open to just get under a ball.
Well, that's the thing. Like, part of what's attractive about DJ Moore is that in a perfect world, he's your Khalil Shakir. He's your slot. He's shifty. He's good at yak. He can run those shorter and intermediate routes.
He's very strong.
But that's the thing is in an imperfect world, DJ Moore absolutely has the capability to do everything. He can be your deep threat. He can play X. It's not what he's best at, but he's still good at. Like he would be amongst the very best slot receivers, but he's good enough at the outside stuff that he can be a good one. So suddenly you move Josh Palmer from your number one receiver, terrible, to your number two receiver, acceptable. Not good, but acceptable. Or not number two. He's your wide receiver 3 because Khalil Shakir is probably still going to get the most targets. But your Z, right? Your secondary outside option. I guess you might even have DJ Moore at Z and then use Josh Palmer as a sacrificial X, but you get what I mean, right? Josh Palmer is your second outside receiver, is not bad. Khalil Shakir is a good slot. DJ Moore is a good outside receiver 1. This keeps Keon Coleman off the field. This keeps Mecole Hardman off the field. That's important. They both suck. They also drafted Skylar Bell. He's substantially the same thing to me as Khalil Shakir. No need to get into it. So the Bills still don't have great receivers, but it's not like the Patriots, but it's better. Patriots have better receivers and a better quarterback, but this is a lot better than it was.
I mean, the offense definitely improved. It didn't change a ton, but it got a little better.
I hope it changed because here's my calculus. I think Joe Brady being promoted from offensive coordinator to head coach is the most important part of this offseason for the Bills. Like, that's going to be the real mover and shaker. At worst, it is the exact same shit we've been seeing from the Bills for the last 3 years, right? Because frankly, like, yeah, Sean McDermott's defense was bad because he only ran cover 2 every fucking play. Like, he didn't do anything. It's cover 2, cover 4, cover 2, cover 4. That's it. Every fucking play. No fun blitzes, no strange deployments, just fucking base all the goddamn time. But the offense was also shit. Very conservative, lots of short passes, not letting Josh Allen control the game the way he should. On one hand, it could be the exact same thing because it's the same guy running. On the other hand, it is possible, however not likely, that Sean McDermott had his finger on the scale, inducing Joe Brady to be more conservative where he would otherwise be aggressive. It is possible that without Sean McDermott over the top, Josh Allen can turn to his buddy Joe Brady and be like, hey, let me call a couple of these, huh? Let's go deep. Let me fuck around. Hey, we got DJ Moore. He's a real receiver. Let me feed the guy. Let me do some things. So there's only upside. They obviously could have made a much better hire. There are much better offensive minds out there they could have hired or promoted. But it can't get worse. It can only get better. And it probably stays the same. Fair?
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair.
On to the defense. I'm really, really excited about Jim Leonard being promoted or hired as defensive coordinator. Jim Leonard, really good college defensive coordinator at Wisconsin. And then he was integral in the process. He wasn't the DC because it's Vance Joseph, but he was integral to the process in Denver last year. Really exotic, really tricky, comes from the Rex Ryan school because he used to quarterback those Rex Ryan defenses with the Jets. Also just like the perfect example of like below average player who got by with his savvy becomes great coach. I'm really excited to see what he's going to do because this defense is going to go from the most vanilla, the least aggressive, the dumbest to one of the smartest, most aggressive, most complex overnight. Like that. I'm not thrilled with the personnel.
Sure.
I love their defensive tackles. Like Dayon Walker. Dayon Walker was a 5-star recruit and a super good college football player who then like hurt his back really bad. And he's like 6'5", 330. So like, is his back ever going to heal when he's that size? Well, last year it seemed back. He was a monster for most of the season. Ed Oliver is good and finally getting healthy, although, he lost his 2-year-old son like 2 days ago.
Yeah, that could be a tough year, mentally.
Give him a month to chill. Like, honestly, that's one of those guys where it's like, hey, Ed, fucking go hang out with your wife for September. Come back in October. Keep working out. We're here if you need us, but like, you don't have to do anything. Because I really like TJ Sanders. Got a great bull rush. I really like Landon Jackson, who's like a edge defensive tackle hybrid. Just no bend at all, but so long and strong. And he's got to get the friction on. That's so bad. I had to. The line was half complete. Once upon a time liked Fedarian Mathis. We'll see if he can capture anything, but he probably won't play. The ends are the problem. I like TJ Parker from Clemson. rookie, second rounder. I like him. He never put it together. Bursty, strong, right size. Never quite came together. He's a solid prospect, but not a good one. Now, I mean, he's even a good one. He's just not a really good one. Greg Rousseau. Greg Rousseau is Calais Campbell. They're twins. He's long. You cannot move him backwards. He will not move you forwards. That's it. Brad Chubb, C+. Always has been, always will be. I guess they're still trying to make fucking Michael Hoyt a linebacker, despite the fact that he absolutely is a defensive tackle. And that's going to piss me off because they just wasted this man's career between the Rams and the Bills, insisting on playing him 2 positions out of position. Like, he's too big. He shouldn't be.
It's because he demands to say his name, Hecht.
Well, it's Hoyt.
I thought they always said Hecht.
They do, but it's hooked.
I know, that's what I'm saying. If he would honor his people's name, like all these guys that are changing their names back, and he just said you got to pronounce it the right way.
He should put the umlaut back over the O. Delete the
exactly.
E.
It's not Tyrod, it's Tyrod. Put some respect on their name.
The motherfucker's mother calls him Tyrod. His dad calls him Tyrod.
If Michael Hecht would demand that people said his name appropriately, he would be a starting defensive tackle. But because he won't, he's going to be a backup linebacker.
I can't disagree with that logic. A part of me actually believes it. Like, if he would assert himself instead of being such a fucking people pleaser. Yeah.
He doesn't have that killer gene. He's not enough of a narcissist to be an edge.
Look, I would get it if you moved the really athletic defensive tackle out to edge. I think it's dumb, but I would get it. But then move him back to off-ball linebacker is the dumbest shit conceivable. I guess it worked for Teddy Bruschi, but fuck, man. You know, he was originally a defensive tackle.
That sounds about right for...
He lost a bunch of weight, and it was a different era.
Yeah, I was about to say, where it was just kind of like different forms of hitting offensive linemen.
Yeah, I mean, he played like a defensive tackle the way they would mug him up.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of coverage or sideline to sideline running.
No. So yeah, their edges are not good, but I mean, if they start TJ Parker and Greg Rousseau, that's decent.
They're not going to, though.
No, they're going to start Brad Chubb because he's got a name and he was a high pick. Never should have been, but he was.
Decent against the run.
Kentavious Street was a better defensive fucking lineman at NC State, but he tore all his ACLs a bunch of times. I loved Kentavious Street that year, man. He was better than Brad Chubb on the same defensive line, and he went 5th round, and then he tore his knees twice each.
I remember when you were like going to watch Bradley Chubb tape, and you came out of it and were like, he wasn't even the best end on his own team.
That was the first year I like watched tape. That was that junior year?
It was, yeah, because it was the Baker draft, so senior year.
That was when I was eating Oreo cereal, which is Oreos cut into fourths and put in a bowl of milk.
Yeah, because it went Baker, Saquon, Darnold, Denzel Ward, and then Brad Chubb.
Yeah, and people were mad that the Browns passed on Brad Chubb twice.
Yeah, because they
wanted him to go first, and they also wanted him to go fourth.
I don't know how many people wanted him to go first. I think that was definitely is it Sam Darnold, Baker, Josh Allen, Lamar? But then it was with 4, do you take the cornerback or the edge rusher? And a lot of people were like, oh, Brad Chubb, he's the perfect complement to Miles. We'll be able to get 300 sacks a year.
Dummies. Hey.
Yeah, they made the right choice.
And nobody will ever give them credit. And if you ever bring it up, they'll say, oh, of course you take Denzel Ward over Brad Chubb. Everybody knows. So
there's also Denzel Ward or Jair Alexander.
They're the same guy.
Well, Denzel's just existed longer.
Yeah. What's funny is Jair's career is over, despite Denzel Ward being the injury-prone one.
Well, he didn't have as many injuries because Jair had injury problems too. His were like soft tissue and body injuries, whereas Denzel Ward just couldn't stop getting concussions.
Yeah, and your brain doesn't matter.
Yeah, and then he did have a stretch where he'd get a lot of soft tissue stuff too, but he hasn't had as much of a problem with that. He's just such a little dude.
That draft was a great draft because I loved Jair. I was like, yeah, I fucking love Denzel Ward, but they're the same guy, same size, same style, same everything. Just like take the one who's 20 spots cheaper. Anyway, linebackers, they're smart. None of them are athletic, but they all try really hard and know what they're supposed to do. Corners. Boy, I don't like these corners.
The thing you can say about the Bills for the last 5 years.
Well, so this is like the one issue I have with Jim Leonard coming in and being very exotic and playing lots of man is like Christian Benford is a decent corner, but he's not very athletic. He's just smart and played zone. So he got like sheltered. What happens when he has to play corner? And Maxwell Harrison might have raped that girl, but he definitely is very fast, but also he's not good at covering. Like he gets burnt because he gets lost. And also accused of heinous things.
Bit of a mixed bag there.
Yeah, we're not recording two divisions tonight. I'm getting loose.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I guess they're going to play D. Alford in the slot, which, if true, there was a time where D. Alford was a really good second corner. But
that time has passed.
That time has passed. They drafted Davison Igbinosun. Boy, he loves pass interference, huh?
Yeah, he really does.
Davison Igbinosun loves pass interference in the Big Ten, where they forgot that was a rule for a few decades. So in the NFL, he's fucked.
Yeah. Only hope he had was if he went to the Ravens. They could have taught him how to do it.
They would have been like, no, don't pass interfere. Just hold every play.
Mm-hmm.
And they won't call it all the time, and you'll profit. Marlon Humphrey the other day was like, yeah, as soon as I can't play corner, I'll move back to safety. And I was like, hey, that's admirable as fuck, and more people should do it. But also, how you can't hold when you're a safety.
It's definitely harder. I'm sure he'll figure it out. He's one of the best.
The safeties are well known, but not good. Everybody knows DeMar Hamlin. Remember when he died? Everybody knows. Hot take. I know he died, and then he came back to life. But there's absolutely no reason that he should have won Comeback Player of the Year, because his rehab involved waking up.
Jesus Christ.
Like, yeah, it sucks to die. It's probably one of the worst things. But he didn't have to like rehab, strengthen. Like one moment his eyes closed and he was dead. And the very next instant, he was awake and his his chest was burning a little bit, but like he was fine. He took a really deep nap. What's wrong with now? Your reaction is that's insensitive and crazy. Why? How do you know I didn't die last night and come back?
I think the difference is also that everyone watched him die.
It was crazy to watch.
And so and it became obviously much more than just like, whoa, that was crazy. He was, going around to games and on shows, and there were conspiracy theories about him showing he really made it.
Well, he's also clearly a clone.
Dude. So I understand why the kind of the outside factors of his story and his family talking about it and teammates and how incredible the EMS and everybody was to save his life.
I want to make a caveat. I have exclusively heard that this is like the greatest man off the field you've ever met. Like the most positive influence. It's awesome. You know what? Bad at football, and his rehab was not significant.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you that for the letter of the law of what the award is, yeah, he didn't deserve it. He could have gotten something else because it felt more like a community award of look at how everybody came together around this incredible human that went through this, very scary situation, and all these people jumped in to help out and save him, and all of that it became like a bigger thing. But I mean, I agree with you, but it's understandable why it went that way.
Well, guess what? He's bad, and he's not going to start.
Yeah, that's true.
Another name you definitely have heard of, C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Did you know he fucking sucks?
Yeah, it's over.
He had a moment, and that moment was brief, and that moment mostly was predicated upon pissing people off to the point they couldn't play their game.
Yep.
And he's not even bad in the slot, because he can hit really good, but he just can't cover. He's not that good in space. He needs to be in tighter proximity to the tackling target, like you get the opportunity to do when you're a slot. So yeah, he's not good. He's fine. He's a C+, but not good. The name does not match the impact. Geno Stone. You've heard the name. He was a Super Bowl safety with the Bengals. Not good. It's over. It ended really quick. I'm shocked he's only in year 7. Feels like he's way older than that. And then there's Cole Bishop, who actually is pretty good. I like Cole Bishop. But yeah, so you got Cole Bishop and then 3 guys you've heard of, but maybe they don't help that much. And they're not bad. They're not D's, but they're C+, B- guys. Not good. So you've got a very weird defense with a really good DC. It's a little similar to the Patriots. It's probably going to end up middle of the pack in terms of points per drive. It's probably going to be 14 to 18. And if the Bills offense, takes another step in the aggressive pass heavy direction, they can probably win a lot of fucking games with a decent defense like that, but nothing is guaranteed.
It feels like just such a similar version of the team we've seen get knocked out late in the playoffs for several years. And that they have a lot of the pieces. They've got the Josh Allen, but it's just incomplete. And when they face those really, really good teams, if Josh Allen isn't incredible, they don't really have the horses.
Yeah. Well, and that's the funniest thing is like people have started to consider Josh Allen like a playoff choker when he's one of the very, very best playoff quarterbacks of his generation, if not the pretty clearly best. It's just that like if he plays a B plus game, they lose. It has to be an A to an A plus game to win.
Yeah.
Let's do the yeah. To your point, man. I was pissed when they hired Joe Brady because it's like you guys are so close. All you need to do is like make one upgrade anywhere. Do the upgrade. They don't get a new end, or they got Brad Chubb, but that's not a solution. They don't go get corners. They don't get a new hot shot offensive mind. They just fucking status quo as hard as they can. Let's do the games. At Houston week 1, save you some money on the Patreon. I already have money on the Bills. I think that is absolutely a win.
Yeah. I just think that the offense will be able to keep up.
Here's where it just gets so tough. Their first 5 games are kind of insane. Houston, I think they win, but if you told me they lose, I'm not going to shit myself, right?
Yeah.
Detroit.
Defense is nuts.
Detroit's a fucking toss-up.
Yeah, they're very good.
San Diego is a fucking toss-up.
God, that'll be such a fun game.
New England's a fucking toss-up.
Also a blast.
Rams is probably a loss.
Yeah, I agree with you.
It is entirely possible, and some could argue likely, that they're 0-5. I think they end up going 2-3, 3-2.
Yeah, I think that's probably accurate.
I think they end up beating Detroit. I think they end up losing to the Chargers. I think New England's like the inflection point, but it's entirely possible they go like 1-4.
Yeah, I mean they could also be 4-1.
Yeah, but that's just that might be the hardest possible first 5 games.
Yeah, that's definitely the hardest start that we've seen so far.
When it doesn't get that much easier. So like they got the Raiders next, that's a win. And they get the bye, and they get Baltimore out of the bye, and they always beat Baltimore because Lamar can't pass with Josh. And they'll beat Minnesota, and they'll beat the Jets, and they'll beat Miami. And they got the Chiefs. That's always a fucking, tough game.
Mm-hmm.
They got the Patriots. That's always a tough game. They got the Packers. I think they win. They got the Bears. I think they win, but that's a tough game.
Yeah, I think they'll be favored, but it won't be a big spread.
Then they go to Denver week 16. Huge, tough game. I think they win, but it's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Miami.
That's one of those games where if Josh Allen doesn't have a A- game, they lose.
Yeah.
But it's very possible that he has that game.
And they finish off the season with Miami and Jets. The Jets week 18, if the Bills need the game, they will win it. So we count it as a win. So right now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 9 green games, 9 win games, and then 7 toss-ups.
It's pretty much identical to New England.
12. That schedule is so fucking tough. I wouldn't be surprised. Of their 7 toss-up games, I wouldn't be surprised at all if they only win 3. I wouldn't be surprised at all if they only win 2. Like, if I had to guess, I think they beat Chicago and Kansas City. I think they probably definitely win those games.
Yeah,
but it's fucking
they should.
Tough. Yeah, but it's fucking tough. Like, I'm going to bet on them to win those games, but it's tough.
Yeah, and you also don't, it's pretty late in the season for both of those games that you don't really know who's going to be playing.
Yeah, it's really consequential football. So, God, this division is the haves and the have-nots, huh? We got 12 wins projected for Buffalo and New England in a dead heat to win the division. And then we got fucking 2 wins for Miami and fucking 3 wins for the Jets.
2 Super Bowl hopefuls and 2 Arch Manning hopefuls.
Which team do you think the Mannings would rather Arch go to? The Jets or the Finns?
Neither.
I don't know, dude. If I would love to go to the Jets if I'm them.
Maybe, but I guess they were okay with Eli going to the big market too. But I was like, they might be like, the Jets are such a terrible franchise that even though they've got the talent, it's just never going to be a place where it feels professional. But maybe they go, screw it. It's New York. It's the big market. The talent's there. He can turn it around and become, kind of to the Jets what Eli is to the Giants.
Well, exactly. And then also, like, he's going to get to pick his fucking coach.
True.
Because Aaron Glenn is so cooked.
Yeah, but also, I don't think the Jets would have the first pick.
Yeah.
Because the Dolphins are just so bad.
They're so bad. Like, that's the funniest thing about the Browns is that they're tanking harder than anybody's ever tanked, except the Dolphins are ahead of them in the tank.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's because the Browns haven't fully committed to a teardown. They're trying to have most of a roster, but just have some parts that are so bad that it tanks the whole record. But then they can get a quarterback and kind of be right back to a competitive team. But You got to get the
If
quarterback.
if only there was some really good franchise quarterback available in the draft who was a first round pick and they could have taken.
You mean the one that's from like 45 minutes away from the stadium?
No, Drew Aller would have been perfect, but I understand them not taking him. Like I really like Drew Aller. I think
Yeah.
he's going to be a franchise quarterback, but there are real reasons to be very afraid.
Yeah, no, he's definitely a project. I wouldn't have taken him as the Browns either because you can't trust them.
Yeah, like if you told me like, all right, you're at pick 5 and Drew Aller's going to go pick 6, are you going to take him? Like in theory, I want to say yes, but no, I'm too afraid. I wouldn't do it. I want him in the second round, and I'd be thrilled, but that's what I want. No, Ty Simpson was right there. Ty Simpson is fucking really good. I mean, he's not on Tyler Shuck's level, but he's better prospect than Caleb Williams in my eyes. Fucking Ty Simpson should have been the first overall pick in damn near any draft in the last half decade. But
Bold claims. Either way, it doesn't really matter though because it's Haslam running the team, and he wants Arch Manning bad.
yeah, he's not going to get him.
I don't think he will.
No, there's no chance. Their roster's too good. All right. So we got 2 units on New England over. The only reason we're not doing 2 units on Buffalo over is because that one extra win to get is like a big, tough win to get.
Yeah.
And then while I'm tempted to bet the under on the second lowest win total ever, I don't know. There's a chance Malik Willis could be kind of good for a few days, and that's enough to crash the bet.
Yeah, and like they do play the Jets twice. That yeah, we think the Jets are better, but maybe they get some big injuries early on, and then they become a shittier team. Malik Willis plays decent, and then they get 2 wins just from those games.
Yeah, it's just there's no margin for error.
Yeah.
All right. So that's our bet. Fucking New England 2 units over 9.5. And dude, I'm literally gonna roll to my left and go to bed immediately.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the AFC East.
That's it. And then we have to do both of the Wests.
Yeah, we'll just do the Wests together next week or something.
Fucking Thursday, it's supposed to rain. Oh, fuck, that's tomorrow. I don't want to pod 2 days in a row. I'll get burnt out. We'll figure something out. We'll do both of them in time. And then fucking in 2 weeks, we'll be doing real pod.
Hell yeah.
And until then, go Friday, go binge watch a bunch of fucking preseason football games and bet on them. Bet on the football game. Please bet on football games. Asta.